Okay, well, the Committee on Parole is called back to order. The time is 11:17. Our next case is going to be Mr. Kenneth Sims. Mr. Sims, would you please give us your full name and DOC number?
Kenneth M, today is 6/7.
Mr. Sims, I'm going to read some information into the record. And then at the appropriate time, we're going to ask those persons who indicate they wish to have input to speak. Speaking on your behalf today is Mr. Kerry Myers with the Louisiana Parole Project, as well as your daughter, Miss Kristen Miller. Also present but not speaking is Corey Ferguson, Kayla Barton, Tashika Hill, Rosalind Williams, Quanti Lee, Jacqueline Holmes, Gary Sims, and James Westmoreland. At the end, you'll be allowed to make a statement to the board before we vote. Do you understand our procedure, sir? I didn't hear you.
Yes, I understand.
Okay, good. I'm having a little difficulty hearing, so if you could speak up a little bit, I'd appreciate it, okay?
Okay.
This is the matter of Kenneth M. Sims, DOC number 108657, date of birth, July the 24th of 1962. He's a third-class offender. He has a parole eligibility date of August the 11th of 2007, an adjusted good time date of 3/20 of 2062, and a full term date of September 17th of 2062. He is currently serving a 75-year sentence on the charge of armed robbery after having been adjudicated a habitual offender and sentenced on September the 14th of 1988. Mr. Sims, is that information all accurate?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Sims, your case has been assigned to me to begin our interview process, so I would appreciate your answering my questions if you would, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. Sims, I show that you're currently 60 years old and you're about to be 61 in a couple of days. Is that right?
Right. That's right.
How long have you been in prison on these charges, Mr. Sims?
Like 37, 36, 37 years.
30, approximately 37 years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about your educational background. How far did you go in school?
Well, to 8th grade, I was a special ed. Since I've been here, I've been in school since I've been here. But my health come down over, and I had to get out of school because of my health problem. But I've been in school since I've been here.
Did you ever get your GED?
No, sir.
You've been working on it all this time, but you haven't been able to get it?
Right. I had Dr. Sanders that gave me a letter, and he took me to his office, told me, he said, everybody ain't gonna get a GED. Mr. Sam, he didn't want me to quit school, but he told me stay in school, just stay at it. But everybody wasn't gonna achieve a GED.
So you've been in for 37 years. So how old were you when you came into prison this time?
25.
Tell me about Kenneth Sims at 25 years old. Were you working at that time?
Yes, sir.
What kind of work were you doing?
Construction. I worked at Georgia Pacific.
You worked at Georgia Pacific?
Yes, sir.
How long did you work there?
Well, I was doing similar work there, and the job just got finished. Right before I got the charge, my job that I was doing, it just had completed.
Yeah. Where were you living? Who were you living with at the time?
I was living in Ethel, Louisiana.
In Ethel?
Yes, sir.
Who were you living with? Do you have any children?
Yes, sir. I have four children.
How old are your children now?
My oldest is 43. I got a 43-year-old, and my 42, he passed away. My oldest daughter is like 34. 38. She's 38. She's 36. Okay.
So you had 4 children when you committed this crime? They were all young?
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about drugs or alcohol. Were you using drugs or drinking alcohol back then?
I was really drinking. I really didn't have a drug problem. I could drink a little alcohol.
Okay, well, let's talk about, I'll decide whether you had a drug problem or not, okay? Did you use drugs back then?
Not really, every now and then I smoke a little weed, that was it.
Okay. About how often would you smoke a little weed?
It wasn't no regular thing, every now and then, depends on who I was getting around.
How about alcohol? How often were you drinking alcohol?
I drink a little beer every day.
Okay. How much beer would you drink every day?
It wasn't no hell of a lot. I mean, I didn't get drunk, pissy drunk. I wasn't nothing like that. I just drank a little beer, coming off from work. We might stop and get something on the way home from work.
Did you drink beer every day? How many beers did you drink every day?
I'd maybe say a 6-pack.
A 6-pack every day?
Yes, sir.
And how long did you drink a 6-pack every day? Were you drinking a 6-pack every day up until the time you committed this crime?
No, sir. No, sir. Like when we come home from work, we stop and get us something to drink. We did coming home from work like that,
Well, I understand. I'm not suggesting you were drunk at the time you committed this crime. My question is, at the time you committed this crime, at the age of about 25 years old, were you drinking a 6-pack every day?
Oh, no.
All right. Have you ever had any substance abuse treatment? Have you ever had any classes involving alcohol or substance abuse?
Yes,
What have you had?
Sorry?
Did you say you're in right now, in class right now?
I'm in living in balance right now.
You're in living in balance right now. How long have you been in living in balance?
I think this is like the 5th week. This is like the 5th week.
What have you learned from living in balance? What does it tell you about your drinking a 6-pack every day?
Well, I mean, it ain't something that we should be doing. It's not normal for us to drink every day like that. But it's being occasion they say, it don't hurt.
Well, let me ask you this: how much, if you were to get out of prison, if you were to get an early release, how much would you drink then?
When I get a release,
how often would you drink when you get out?
Well, right now I don't need nothing to drink. I get out, I'm gonna be so happy. I won't nothing to drink. I mean, I just need.
Well, I hear that. Right now, as you sit here, you're happy. You hope to get out. You won't need anything to drink. But my question to you is, do you think that you'll go back to drinking a couple of beers a day, a 6-pack a day, or something like that?
No, sir. No, sir.
Well, what do you think you'll be drinking? How often will you drink?
Well, like I said, we get together like a family, we get together barbecue or something like that. I probably drink a beer or something like that, but of course, drinking,
So you don't believe that you should totally abstain from alcohol?
You're right. I don't need alcohol.
Well, I hear what you're saying, but you're still going to go out and drink a little bit. Do you think you're an alcoholic?
No, sir. No, sir.
Let's talk, Mr. Sims, about this crime on August the 7th of 1987, where you and 2 other guys beat, robbed Mr. Joe Howell. Tell me what happened. Tell me how that came about.
Well, I remember I went to a ballpark. I watched the game, and the 2 guys that I was with, they walked up to me. We started talking. After we started talking, then they started telling me something about something that the plan that they had. I listened to it.
What was the plan that they had?
To burglarize. It wasn't a robbery. The plan was for the burglarize. So when we get to the place, somebody is in the place. But it wasn't never a robbery. So I went along with them, left the ballpark, I went along with them, and we ended up being there one for the that's my worst night.
Mr. Sims, I'm sorry. I'm having trouble hearing you. Can you get closer to that microphone? Take that little mask off your face. I know it's not on your mouth, but it might be affecting you. I'm having very difficult hearing you, and I want to hear everything that you say.
Okay.
So tell me what happened. You and your 2 friends, they had a plan. You were going to burglarize. You got there, apparently there was a man inside. What happened then?
Right. We went inside. We went inside,
You need to look up because you're talking down and I can't hear you.
All right, one of the guys stayed in the front room, and I went in the back room, you did, see what was fine. When I come back out the back room, the other guy that I left in the room, with the guy, he was stabbing the guy. So when I see him stabbing the guy, he digging out, and I walk up, tell me what you doing? So he's stabbing the man. So,
How old was the man in the house?
he was in 80, I don't know his age.
All right, 88 years old is what he was. You realized he was an old man?
He was in 80.
All right, and then what happened? Then what happened?
Well, when I come out, when I come out the back room, the other guy, I seen him stabbing the guy. So I seen him stabbing the guy, I got everything. I grabbed him. I grabbed his hand when he was stabbing him. And I said, what you doing? And me and him got into it because he stabbed this man. This was never supposed to happen. And I just lost it after I seen him do that. I lost it. Because that was never supposed to happen. And after that, we left, went to Baton Rouge, and it was never supposed to happen. So I don't know where I should never even went along with that. I regret that. I regret that from
Mr. Sims, prior to this, at 25 years old, you had a long history of crime. You had a number of arrests. You had history of burglaries, violence, 11 total arrests. You tell me it wasn't drug or alcohol related. So why were you committing all of this crime?
Well, you said 11 arrests. I've been arrested for aggravated battery. I had aggravated battery. That was just me and my brother had a fight. Then I had a theft charge. That's the only charges I had.
All right, well, let's talk about that. You weren't arrested in 1980 for simple burglary, 3 counts of simple burglary, felony theft, misdemeanor theft, and resisting an officer?
No, sir.
1980?
No, sir. That wasn't me.
It's not you?
No, sir.
1981, you weren't arrested by the sheriff's office for simple burglary, no driver's license, proper equipment on vehicles?
I got arrested for driving with no driving license, but I ain't never had no burglary.
Okay, same rap sheet, same person, same date of birth, 9/18/1983, aggravated burglary with a dangerous weapon. Apparently that's the case you were talking about. That's you?
Say again?
And then theft in 1985, another aggravated burglary in 1985. And then these armed robbery charges. That's not you? You didn't get all those charges?
In 1985, I was incarcerated in 85. I had 2 years.
Yeah, you were booked at Elaine Hunt Correctional Center. That's right.
Right. I had a theft
So
charge.
tell me why all of the arrests and why all of the crime. If alcohol wasn't involved, why did you do those things?
Sir, I had 2 arrests. I got arrested for driving with no driving license. But I had a burglary charge, I had a theft charge, and I had a battery charge. Them are the charges I ever had. I only been locked up with no driving license. I haven't been locked up anything else.
Well, what caused you to get the battery charge?
Me and my brother got in a fight. My brother was way bigger than me. I'm the one called the police. My brother didn't call the police because me and him got in a fight. I couldn't beat him. He's out working with him. So we got in a fight and we wouldn't stop. I called the police. And I called the police come. I was there when the police came. And because I hit him with something, they took me to jail. My brother picked me up when I got out of jail.
Mr. Sims, since you've been in prison, you've had 91 write-ups. Why? Why so many write-ups?
The judge was for, I think, for work offenses. And when I was up there, sir, I was up there from robbing someone that lived down the street from the warden of Angola. He lived down the street from him. After he found out who I was, I had a problem with him. Every time something happened in camp, they write me up for it, because I lived there, the man lived down the street from the water. After he found out who I was, I mean, I had trouble there.
When you were arrested for this crime, you were actually out on supervision, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
The theft and aggravated battery. That was revoked as a result of this new crime.
Yes, on the battery charge. That's why I had the aggravated battery and theft charge. I had 2 and 2.
On October the 6th of 2022, which was maybe what, 8 months ago, 8 months ago, you had a hearing, parole hearing, and you were denied based upon the fact that you needed more programs and your criminal history and your write-ups. So tell me what programs you've taken since your last denial, which was in October of 2022. You're in living imbalance now. What other programs have you taken?
Victim awareness. I had the victim awareness since then. And because a lot of programs shut down during that time. They had COVID was going on.
Well, I don't. Tell me what programs you've taken. You took victims' rights program, that was in April of 2022. What else have you taken? Actually, you took the victims' rights program before your last denial. So what have you taken since your last denial? I don't show any, frankly. I may have missed them. You got a couple of certificates in there, but all of those certificates are old. So tell me what you've done, what programs you've taken since your last denial, which was in October of 2022. Because one of the reasons you were denied is because you needed more programs.
Right.
So what have you taken since then, besides the fact that you're in living imbalance?
Well, a lot of programs shut down. They didn't have. They just started.
I'm not concerned about why you didn't take them. I will get to that. What programs have you taken? All I show is living imbalance, and I show you finished that, or maybe you'll finish it. You just finished, right?
Yes.
Everything else you took was before your last hearing, which was October the 6th of 2022. And one of the reasons you were denied is because you didn't have sufficient programs. So what have you done since then?
I have all the certificates I got to get. I mean, I can't get no more certificates. I got all of them. But
well, tell me about anger management. You took that in 2012. It was suggested that you take more programs. They got cage your rage. They got all kinds of anger management programs. They got all kinds of substance abuse programs. You deny you have a drinking problem, yet you were drinking a 6-pack every day before you committed this crime. So what programs have you taken since this board said to you last time, one of the reasons we're not letting you out is because you need more programs? What have you done besides living in balance?
But that's what I said. They shut down all the programs. And all the programs that was open, that was to me, I came in and I got it.
I accept the fact that you took maybe what you can take, but
Right.
I'm not sure that's sufficient.
Okay.
So I'm asking.
All the program that's open, that's to me.
What is your plan to stay sober when you get out of prison?
So I got a bunch of grandchildren. I'm not doing no drinking. I don't need nothing to drink. All I need is my grandchildren and be a chance to get out of here and prove myself.
Mr. Sims, just a few minutes ago, you told me that, yeah, you drank at family events and this and that. So you still intend on going back to having some alcohol, whether it's a couple of beers or whatever it is. That tends to lead to other things. You don't believe that's a problem for you?
Sir, I'm 60 years old. Ain't nothing in the street for me, sir. Ain't nothing out there for me. I mean, anything out there's right there at my house. I don't
Mr. Sims, I'm 76 years old. I've got friends older than me who are alcoholics, and they have to be careful every day.
Sir. That's right.
I get the impression you're not cognizant, you're not aware of your drinking and your substance abuse issues. Warden, what can you tell us about Mr. Sims?
Oh, Mr. Sims, he doesn't present himself very well, and he's been incarcerated a long time, and for a long time, he didn't really do anything to help himself for a long time. And I guess because he didn't have a parole eligibility date, he just kind of was, institutionalized, for lack of a better word, for a long time. Him and I spoke a good bit, and I think he understands that he has a substance abuse problem, but I don't think he just hasn't had enough of the treatment to really understand what he needs. He's finished living in balance phase 1. He's still enrolled in phase 2. I'm hoping by the time he finishes phase 2, he'll have a little better understanding about his substance abuse problem. And I think he needs to continue on that path for substance abuse treatment, even if he, is in here or he gets out. I think he needs to continue that. But he hasn't had a ride up in several years. He's doing well. I think he has some medical issues that he's been dealing with a lot, which may have hindered him from getting into more programs.
Thank you, Warden. Appreciate your comments.
What are his medical issues?
I have lupus. I have facial arthritis, and I just been diagnosed with cancer.
What type of cancer, do you know?
Skin cancer. Skin cancer.
And when did you receive that diagnosis? When did they tell you that?
About the cancer?
Yeah,
About maybe 2 months ago.
Are you receiving any treatment for it?
Well, they just put me on a radiation pill. They come out on the radiation pill. I take like 6 pills a week until my body gets used to it. But it's just my health problem coming out on me so much exactly.
All right. Thank you. Sorry to hear about your issue.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Now we'll hear from Mr. Kerry Myers.
Yes. Good morning, Kerry Myers with Louisiana Parole Project. Mr. Sims is a client of Parole Project. As you know, he's been incarcerated for 37 years and he's now 60 years old. His diagnosis has presented a recent change in his reentry plan. We still plan on receiving Mr. Sims into our program. However, his original plan was going to be to go to Texas to live with family there. Because of his medical condition, because of his recent diagnosis, Mr. Sims will stay here in Louisiana. And once he is finished in residence with us, we will first of all, we will help him connect to all his medical resources. But he will live here in Zachary while he's still undergoing treatment with a relative and with his aunt, actually, with his cousin. And so we want to be able to do 2 things when Mr. Sims comes in here. We'll obviously give him the benefit of the full capabilities of our program because he's been incarcerated for 37 years. That'll also include mental health and substance abuse assessments, which we would then determine any recommendations from those. Besides that, like I said, we will ensure that he does get connected to follow up with a continuity of his medical care, particularly with this new diagnosis, based on his time served and we understand that Mr. Sims may be lacking a program here, there, but he has taken victim awareness, he has taken anger management, he has taken 100 hours. He is currently still in living in balance, completing phase 2. we would just ask this board, all things considered, to grant his parole today.
Thank you, Mr. Myers. Ms. Kristen Miller.
Good morning. My name is Kristen Miller, and I'm Mr. Sims' oldest daughter here in support of his release. I fully understand the nature and the severity of his offense, but I do believe that he is not the same person he was all those years ago. Now I'm 40 years old, and so he's been incarcerated for nearly my entire life. However, he has maintained a relationship with our siblings and our entire lives. So I know his personality, and I've seen the switch in his mindset over the last several years. I've seen him go from being angry at the world to being more calm and collected and just happy to have a chance to live another day. He now actively listens more and takes criticism in a more constructive manner. All he wants these days are to spend time with his family. His risk to society is almost non-existent at this point because of his health. It started to severely decline. There are many days where he can't even get out of bed. And even on the days when he can get out of bed, he's so weak that moving around is minimal. He has a strong support system to help him through the process. My siblings and I were all leaders at Fortune 500 companies, so his financial expenses will be covered by us. His siblings, his aunts, uncles, and cousins, they're all prepared to go the extra mile to do whatever is needed to support him. So whether that's going to a doctor visit, to work, visits with his parole officer, or even AA or substance abuse counseling, we'll make sure that he gets there and back. We just ask that you allow him the opportunity to spend some time with his family before he has none left. Thank you for your time.
Mr. Sims, is there anything you'd like to say to the board before we vote?
That's right. So I've been gone a long time. When I first come in this system, I was a kid. I thought I was a grown man. Well, age don't make you a man. I grew up since I've been young. I know I'm not the same person. I just need a chance. I wish I could change the night that brought me now, but I can't. I did it a million times. I can't change it. I wish I could, but I know I'm a changed man. The system worked. The system helped me. I know it helped me. I just need a chance to prove it to you. Because so there's no way. And I could talk with any kid and tell a kid what they're doing. Keep on it. This is not the place to be. I mean, it's just, everybody not gonna get it. But this is not the place to be. When I first come in, I was told, my mind was gone. Not like I'm a grown man now. If I knew what I knew back then, what I know now, I wouldn't be there. But I can't change my past, sir. Sorry for what I did. I wish I could change that, but I can't. I just wish the board would give me a chance. I just wish the board just take consider, just give me a chance, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Sims. We appreciate your comments, sir. Is the board ready to vote? All right. There's been a request for executive session. In a second, please call the roll. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
We are going to be at a brief recess to go into executive session to discuss matters of a confidential nature. We will resume as soon as we have resolved those issues. Okay, we're back on the record. It's 11:47. Mr. Sims, I'm a little concerned about some of your answers, especially the alcohol. I think you've got an issue with alcohol that you don't recognize. I think the warden pointed that out as well. I think you need some understanding of that. You've got a good support system. Your family is there for you. The Louisiana Parole Project is there for you. I think there are a lot of things in place that can help you. I am cognizant now of your medical condition. You do have adamant law enforcement opposition, and you do have adamant victim opposition. They wrote letters. They're very concerned about your getting out. You have been in prison for a long time. You're 60 years old. I'm sitting here telling you that ain't that old. but you do have some medical conditions, and I do understand that. So having said all of those things, I think that you're set up for the future pretty well, especially with the parole project and especially with your family. So my vote today would be to grant conditionally upon your finishing the living and balance program, that the second part that you're currently in. And once you finish that program, you'll be released to Louisiana Parole Project. Follow all of their recommendations. And that would be, and go to your do your treatment and have your family assist you in taking care of you. That would be my vote. That's just one. Ms. Jackson?
All right, my vote is the same. I concur. You have been in prison for 37 years, given your health and your physical condition. I don't feel that you pose a continuing threat, and you do have a good support system. So my vote today would be to grant.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson.
Conditional grant upon completion of the second phase of living and balance.
Ms. Wise?
Mrs. Sims, I was on your panel on October the 6th of 2020. I voted hope, I gave you a hope vote on that day. It was, I did vote to grant. And one of the things that you said, you got moved to Hunt in 2016, and you had a few write-ups in 2018, and your write-ups did decrease after you got to Hunt. So that you got one in 2020, but it was dismissed. So that kind of confirms some of the things that you said about yourself, how you observe yourself. So my vote is the same to grant. I just want to commend your daughter for how well she presented today. You did something right to have a daughter, to have children that supports you. We don't see that very often. After 37 years, that's one, and they saw the change in you. So my best wishes to you. So my vote is the same for the same reasons.
All right. You have 3 votes to grant your parole as soon as you have completed the living and balance program. You'll be going to Louisiana Parole Project. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks, sir. Thank y'all.